All right, we
You,
back.
we are
LTBR
back.
Group Chat Podcast. LTBR Group Chat Podcast. We are back. Senior staff writer at Let's Talk Battle Rap.com. Q Moody. Follow LTBR at LTBR Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. And with me right now is the one and only, the best on YouTube, Jay Smo. How you feeling, bro?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. J Smo reviews on YouTube, always part of the LTBR team. Our boy Titus, you know what I'm saying? The missing piece of the big three here might be pulling up in a little bit. How am I feeling? I'm feeling okay in life. Battle rap wise, I felt better. I felt better. We're gonna talk about that in a second. Um, But I'm doing all right, man. It definitely was a weekend of battle rap. Some good things, some bad things happened. We got some a major announcement, a nuclear announcement, one might say. But the watching experience for the pay per view yesterday is something to discuss entirely. So, how are you feeling after this weekend's festivities?
You know, typically with events like these, I respectfully I'll like watch on YouTube whenever things drop because sometimes in battle rap we're not novices here, we're not new here. These things can get a little bit messy, and the reality is when we watch battle rap events, these things can run for obnoxiously long times with delays and no in between stuff and long delays between the battles, and some events have no commentary, or if there is commentary for some reason the commentary isn't
Not there.
super prevalent on the broadcast and things like that. So typically I would have waited until things were hitting YouTube, but we wanted to come on and cover this because there were a bunch of major battles on this card and things that like battlers have had strong years and things that were interesting we're interested in seeing. And so we watched it. Everyone purchased it separately, and we all had an experience watching this event. uh Now, Street Talks, Now or Never 3, headlined by Chef Trez versus Hollow the Don, and a litany
Man,
of other battles
a
on the
lot of top
undercard.
tiers in the card. A lot of heavy hitters, and which is why I did my predictions video. We did the predictions on the show last week, and I had like a level of expectations. It's small league battle rap. It is always a roll of the dice, which we'll get
Yeah.
into also a little bit later. But I had seen Mean Three from them earlier this year, which had Twerk versus Real Deal is probably the most prevalent battle. But Geechee versus Steams, like a couple of battles that got some love, and the production was pretty good. The footage was pretty good. So I was like, I had some confidence going into this. And, we'll talk about the battles as they go and maybe not having the need for as many top tier artists on leagues that don't have long term establishment. But I think our first battle of the night was Big K versus Tink the Demon, man. How you calling it?
I'll be honest, I was had something going on, so I didn't catch that as I was going on.
Word.
But I know that you were not super high on it. I know you came out with K winning, but I'm gonna defer to you on this one.
Yeah, no, it was cool. Well, to start the battle, Big K tried to start off his round like four different times. And as you know, if you've watched any battle on here, there was tons of audio issues. Same way at the same venue for the no cut event, there was the same type of audio issues. But mics kept going in and out, hit feedback that was like loud. So it took another like 10 minutes once the battle started, which didn't help already a restless crowd. But I thought Big K, he started slow. I actually think Tink cleared him in the first round. And I thought it could be a type of performance where K was sticking like super hard to the time limits, 90 seconds, just kind of get through it. But Tink kind of bombed on him in the first. But then from there, Tink choked away the battle and Big K kind of angled him down for the next two rounds. And I don't know if I expected K to be so tailored for Tink the Demon. He went to like the origin of his name, a couple different things. It was actually like he had some comedy in the second. So he was really battling at Tink. Tink chokes, Tink stumbles, kind of story of his career in some of those bigger battles. So it wasn't anything like crazy. Big K won clear as you expected, but in comparison to what's to come, it was an okay battle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was serviceable.
Yeah, there is some nonsense that's here to come, and honestly, the nonsense starts right in the next battle.
Yeah, right.
So
Next battle, we got about one battle in, and what is that? That's when you started watching, huh? Shotgun Shove versus Payne.
yeah, I the first battle I saw was Suge versus Payne, and if anyone tuned in to the last group chat episode, I had this as a potential upset alert. And I think that we can agree that that is what happened here. I had Payne pretty clearly 3-0. Now, if someone gives Suge the second, I think that's a fair debate. But I had Payne 3-0. I thought Payne's third round was actually pretty good. His best round of the battle, in my opinion. But Suge definitely showed up not in a competitive mood or mode at all.
Yeah, no, it was it's a little early for Christmas, right? December's a far ways away, but it was donation season. He gave away a gift, and the gift was the W to Payne.
Absolutely.
I don't feel like Suge put up a fight at all. And I feel like this is part of what he got flack for last year, and even in like his best years in 2022. Titus,
Oh,
bro,
his
what's
Yo,
brother.
man?
I made it. I made it, man.
Oh man, we're just talking about some Asics, man. But Suge definitely didn't give a high level of effort in this one. I feel like even going back to 2022, when Suge's on like smaller leagues versus opponents that he's like by far the bigger battler in, even on URL, like when he battled Hansel, he's not the gatekeeper of old. He used to be someone that would get motivated to give someone a shot or usher them
Yeah.
in. I feel like at this point in his career, he wants the battles that he wants, like an easy battle, right? Look at how locked in he was for that. But when he doesn't want to battle, he shows it. It's just like Big K, except I thought Big K had quality. He was indirect. Suge really didn't bring shit for Payne. I thought Payne was decent, though. I got to give Payne some credit. He's put
Yeah.
together a couple of decent performances this year. Him versus Cortez on this exact same league actually was pretty good. The crowd was already dead, so nobody got too much love. But I thought Payne did decent. He 30'd Suge. It was a classic Suge not giving a shit battle.
You got somebody saying from now on, I'm like any card with clips. I ain't gonna
Bootleg
lie.
ain't
I ain't gonna lie. We'll get to
can't
that.
condone it, but I understand it. You know what I'm saying, man? Like, I ain't gonna tell you yes. I just ain't gonna tell you no.
Oh shit. Okay. What we had after that? Was that Will and Cortez?
Ill Will and Cortez, and I'll tell you what, it was Ill Will and Cortez after like a 40-minute intermission.
A long intermission where we had the aforementioned commentary team of Geechee, Jazz, and Ike P. And Smo, Can you tell me? I didn't hear Ike P at all. I heard Geechee and Jazz. Did Ike P talk?
Now I think
Did he say anything?
this event, man. I don't think Ike P's mic was working. So one of the commentators,
There we go.
And I'd say
I'm so excited to hear about this event for the first time because I didn't watch it yesterday.
Oh yeah, you missed two battles.
Yeah.
They were Big K cleared Tink the Demon. Tink choked away, and then Suge, as you heard, didn't give a fuck. But before Ill Will versus Cortez, it was like 45 minutes, but there was like 5 minutes of commentary, and then it went right back to just the theme music and the logo again. Like, didn't we pay someone for this? Like, aren't they paid to kind of be here where there's 40 minutes of nothing happening? So I don't know what was going on with the stream in that regard, but
that's what I'm trying to understand. Like, Geechee and Jazz are both coming from LA to do commentary here. Ike P's in fucking, I guess he lives in Harlem still. I don't know where Ike P lives at. But Geechee and Jazz are at least coming from LA. You paid them to come do the commentary here, and then they just barely do commentary the entire
They
night.
were okay when they did commentary.
Yeah.
So, like, 2 quick cameos that they had, I thought that they did all right.
They're fire.
But you had Ill Will versus Cortez, which is actually lost in all this mess. Ill Will versus Cortez is actually a really, really good battle.
That's a dope battle.
I like both of their 3 rounds. And I'd go as far to say I thought every round was debatable. And I think part of that is because watching it live, dead crowd. I know Will's like bitching about the crowd mid-battle. Like, these all make it kind of like hard in a watching experience to judge. But I love both of their performances. I'm not going to lie, man. It's hard to pick a winner.
No, I agree. I think I wound up giving the first to Will, but the second and third are so close legitimately that as the battle was going on, I stopped watching it with the mindset of picking a winner right now and then. Like, maybe when it drops on YouTube, I'll have a winner or anything like that. But as it was going on, I'm like, no, this is a dope battle. Which it was a pleasant feeling after the first battle that I saw, and then the first 2 that you experienced, and then the long ass delay that happens before we even get to Ill Will and Cortez. So it was like, oh man, like, good things can possibly still happen here. And then all of that goodwill and good feelings disappeared very, very quickly after that.
Yeah, I mean, and with Will, and I'll tell you right now, I have Will versus Cortez's battle of the night. I personally had Core edging the first 2 rounds, but if you have Will first and third, if you have like Core second and third, you can mix and match the rounds where I'm really not pressed to like get at you. It's kind of one of those where both win in a sense. Like, I thought they were really good performance, but the crowd was even more dead then, and I think something to add that we didn't, is before a battler even touched the stage, there was a 4-hour delay from the start time.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about
Supposed
this.
to start at 2 p.m. in Brooklyn, or at least the doors open, right? And I think somehow, we're in a place in battle rap where we just like an hour or two is like, we'll kind of wait quietly, which is crazy. If the shit says a time, it should be around the time. But you have your standard like 1 or 2 hour delays, but 4 hours is an attack on hip hop. And I mean, it's a national football game in between when you were supposed to start and when a rapper actually touched the stage. So the crowd's going to get a lot of blame, and they've been tough the last 2 events in Brooklyn. But if you've been waiting outside, then you go and wait inside and nothing is happening for that long, it's hard to be engaged. People have been through 5 hours and we're just starting the
waiting outside in the middle of the fucking summer. Like waiting outside in the middle of the summer, then you come in, there's still no raps. So I can't even really blame the crowd to a certain extent for not even being all the way locked in on the battles. Does it hurt the product? Absolutely. But I can't even blame them at that point.
They weren't dead. They were dehydrated.
That's a fact.
But Ill Will versus Cortez, I called it Core 2-1, but it's super debatable. I think it's I think they both have a better battle with Cortez and King, and then Ill Will Jay the Nightwing, I think, is battle of the year. But it's of those more positive contributions. So if there's like a winner for the night battler wise, Core and Will, I got to give a lot of respect to. And then there was another long ass delay, another like 50-minute intermission. So it's just more time being robbed from us. And then was it Arsenal versus Real Deal?
Honestly, at this point, the night becomes a blur. the night becomes a blur at this point. But I'm pretty sure it's Arsenal Real Deal.
Things were just occurring. But did you catch the first of Arsenal versus Real Deal? Because I still haven't caught. I didn't catch. I went away for a bit because it's been 50 minutes and we've had 3 battles in like 6 hours. So eventually I like got some food, you know what I'm saying? Just did some other shit. And when I came back, it was like somewhere towards the start of Arsenal's second. So I didn't watch the first round of this battle. I can't really judge a winner, to be fair.
Neither can I, because again, at this point, you're asking a lot of me to keep giving this event all of my attention. I have other things that I want to do with my day. You already started 4 hours late. So yeah, at some point I walked away from the stream.
On a Saturday. There's only one Saturday in the week.
Battle starting 4 hours late. You can watch Fantastic Four twice.
I went saw for the second time today, so maybe that's a sign. You know what I'm saying? But from what I did see, though, I did not like this battle. And actually, I know Real Deal tweeted me. He didn't like my review for it too much because I definitely thought it was one of the weaker Real Deals of the year. But I did have it 1-1 from the 2 rounds I watched. And I gave Arsenal the second. I did not like the kind of disrespect approach that Real Deal did into that the Moose Johnston bar, the fullback for the Cowboys. I get what he was trying to say, but like gaping.
Titus, I need you to know, because Titus wasn't around. I wasn't around to watch the event. He wasn't there for that.
Are you gonna tell me Arsenal bar?
No. Actually, I'm going to tell you that Real Deal said gaping hole during his second round.
Yeah, he was referring to what you would think he was referring to. It was really, it's one of those people against Arsenal, I think, try to match the disrespect. And I get it. It's been happening for longer than even I've been a fan of battle rap, right? He's the king of disrespect. But it got cringy. But then I had Real Deal winning the third. His third was actually okay.
His third is cool, but that second round, do you know, these two know me. Do you know how hard it is to get me to say the Arsenal won a round?
So I think you do.
Yeah.
You know the thing about battlers doing the disrespect thing versus Arsenal is Arsenal doesn't do it that much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So like,
it's very out of left field-ish. You just don't hear that.
Even when he does it, we all look at him funny for it. It like doesn't. It's not cool. Like we don't enjoy it anymore, right? Even when he does it now, like the Mook third round, that debacle, had great time in rap.
That was not good.
Like we don't like it anymore. So
I
also think Battle was messed up when they take that approach, trying to do disrespecting Arsenal when he doesn't even do it anymore, and we don't even like it when he does it anymore.
Yeah, I thought it was very, very odd, and we've given Real Deal
a gaping hole, credit. Huh?
Gaping hole.
It is bad,
and we've given Real Deal his proper credit this year.
We're big Real Deal fans. We're big Real Deal fans over here this year.
He was number 3 on our power rankings. Yeah. He saw that he was. So this isn't like a hate thing. It's just like, hey, you just weren't.
performance. And I think some people, I'm not going to say underrate, but with Arsenal, like maybe don't think they need the same firepower like he did for a Twerk or a JC earlier in the year. And the battle's just a mess. So I can't call a winner without seeing the first. On commentary, they said Arsenal won, but I don't know. I'm going to watch it for myself before I make that decision. And Arsenal said in the third, let's be honest, no girl sex. So I'm good.
Say that.
I'm all the way good on everything that happened in the third round of this battle. So I guess it's 1-1 and we'll find out later. But what happened after Arsenal and Real Deal? I'm trying to remember.
Was this T-Top and Fonz, or
why not?
I don't know. T-Top and Fonz, or was it?
Would you say it was a blur? I just know this is somewhere in the blur. So we'll just talk about T-Top versus Fonz next.
T-Top. It's really interesting to see how fast battle rappers go from their super motivated peaks and runs, like say what T-Top was doing last year, to how quickly that can just stop at a moment's notice. And I know that T-Top is maybe doing a bit more business venture-wise, so his attention might be on other stuff and might not be as focused on battle rapping all the time, especially during some of these side missions or not important battles in his eyes. But yeah, he was very, very Charlie Clips-esque in this battle, which takes away from like I thought was a pretty decent Fonz. Not a great one, but Fonz went out there and handled business, but T-Top did his best Charlie Clips impression.
Yeah, and we actually did forget. Loso and Clips was before this, but I'm here to tell you it was the same fucking battle. So whatever we say here is going to probably carry over to how we feel about Loso and Clips. But T-Top wasn't really trying here. I thought the first was his best in comparison. I thought he was decent in the first round. I actually like Fonz's first. And like I said, and like we've been saying, the crowd is not really giving anything love. So this is not an event you're going to watch and be like, oh, like, well, they loved this first. No, you really have to listen to like any of this stuff because it's basically a quiet room battle for the most part, except for people talking through the rounds, which is even worse. So I thought Fonz won the first. T-Top chokes in the second. Fonz was up 2-0. And they both have weaker thirds, but even Fonz punching and kind of just like, going through the motions is going to be more impactful than T-Top laughing around and freestyling. So this was a pretty easy Fonz 3-0, and he's beaten low-key a lot of top tiers this year. I think that's Bill Collector, Arsenal, T-Top, and John. And I know the footage isn't always crazy, like this one, like even the Arsenal one, but that's a cool little four wins to take mid-year for people that didn't know his resume and thought he shouldn't be top 10. So I got a lot of credit for Fonz this year. Man. Fonz has been doing good stuff.
Yeah, no, not just more resume padding for the year for Fonz here. And then I guess we can do the same thing for Loso and Charlie Clips, where Loso gets to say beat Charlie Clips in oddly personal a battle with a lot of personals. Like Loso talking about Clips' gambling addiction, Clips talking about Loso being an alcoholic. Very, very personal battle, but Clips is still being Clips at the end of the day, and he did the Clips thing a couple of different times where it seemed like he was gonna get the crowd, and they did oohs and ahs for what they thought were good Clips bars. But I'm past the point of being fooled by
any of that stuff. One haymaker in the second, giving your mother third leg like a parlay. A couple of things that it's like it's been so bad that there was like a sign of life, so people are like, whoa, you got me there. But also there was a lot of R. Kelly bars. I don't know why Charlie Clips in the first one. I'm not even repeat the first one was egregious, rebuttaling that angle about the girl that was trying to expose him online. I don't think I should have R. Kelly'd her as a bar that I ever want to hear.
Whoa.
He said,
brother, I swear to God, this is a thing that he said.
That's only half. So it was, and then he revisited it like 16 bars later. He had another R. Kelly bar. I'm like, all right, what's going on?
No, I got one better for you.
Oh.
He said something about his son having sex with Loso's hypothetical or fictional daughter.
Yes, there was a lot going on. And this is what I don't know. Then also Clips like real life called out O Solo for doing some shit behind the scenes.
Yeah. He called he said everything that's happening recently is because of O Solo and called O Solo a dick sucker. Like This is chaos at this point.
Oh, Solo made you use R. Kelly bars?
I don't know. Oh, Solo apparently hit up whoever this girl is that's been like doing all that shit with clips online. That Solo had like hit her up on the side, I guess, for info or to meet up. I don't know. But when there's beef happening, real life beef involving Solo, that should tell you like what this is. Like
I'm
what
not
this
gonna lie,
is.
Charlie Clips. You could have just lied, bro.
You could have
Like
just lied.
she just said Charlie. She didn't say Charlie Clips. There's a lot of people named Charles. A lot of
There's
people
a
named
lot of people
Charlie.
named
She never said
named
Clips.
a lot of people named Charles Brown.
She never said Clips. You didn't have to tell us any. You could have just lied, bro.
Yeah, I don't. But and so we knew like when the event was already going like that, and then Eclipse battle comes up, you kind of already know like it's not going to help the situation. So Loso 130. This was one of the weakest Losos of the year too, though. I know that we got a lot of flack for where we placed Loso on the list, but I mean we've looked at him as a top 15 battle rapper of the year. So like that's still very high end, and he's had a good year. But this was just the disease of that like a Eclipse battle can have, and a couple other battlers where they can bring the footage down for everyone. Like when they decide to lose, they can lose to a level that you kind of lose to, which is a very dangerous weapon if you ask me. So that's what Loso versus Clips turned out to be. And what does that leave us with? Twerk and Steams, and then Hollow and Trez, right?
Yeah, that's it. Because we didn't mention that two battles didn't go down. Av versus Wave 7 didn't go down, and neither did Unp versus J Murda, which honestly is probably a good thing because if those battles happen, we're probably thinking about like midnight, 1 a.m. for when this event.
Yeah, like 2 a.m. And these are not, I'm not going to lie, after a certain amount of time, like I don't know what the pace of a Wave 7 battle is going to be at like 11 o'clock at night. You know what I mean? Or I don't know what J Murda and Unp is going to look like after a 5-hour delay near the beginning of the card. So it was one of those blessings in disguise. And maybe they can run Av and Swave somewhere else where like it can still have value, because this was it. The last thing this event needed was more battles. So that was also part of it. But then it's Twerk versus Steams. This was okay. This was okay.
This was cool. This is one where I think where me and you have dissenting opinions on this one. I watched the review that she posted on YouTube earlier today. Go check that out on Smo Reviews. But I actually have Steams winning the battle. I have Steams in the first 2 rounds. And then you have Twerk winning the first and third.
First and third. Yeah, Steams got the second. I think even material-wise, it's close-ish, but Twerk had that ugly stumble. You got really kind of a choke in the second. So I'm cool. But I thought, even though I had Steams losing, I think we both agree in the fact that Steams have been like cooked in that battle. And I feel like this has kind of been the thing for Steams all year is like if you watch his footage, he's rapping good in all of it. He's not winning, at least for me, for the most part.
Yeah.
I haven't 3-0'd in a lot of those battles, unfortunately. But that's just because he's getting really good versions of some reputable comp. But this was a battle, I'm not even mad to call it debatable. Because, like, nobody, like, snatched the energy out of the air. But I just felt pretty confident that, like, Twerk's highs were just a bit higher, a couple more standout bars. But in comparison to the rest of the card, this is probably like a top 4 battle in the card. Like, it was okay. I wouldn't say I'd go rewatch it immediately, but if you watch it, it's not complete. It's not like time wasted.
No, it wasn't a bad time at all. I really didn't enjoy Twerk's first very much. That could have been a byproduct of the crowd being super dead for this battle as well as they were for all things that happened on this event. But I didn't really care for Twerk's first very much. Not to say that Steams was that much potent with all that much firepower either. But it was enough for me to feel like Steams edged the first. And like you said, I think Twerk maybe has some pretty high highs in the second round, but he does have that one slip up or stumble, weird pause segment that throws him off a bit. And Steams has his own kind of bars and maybe not haymakers, but like stuff that that stand up bars of his own too. So I'm pretty comfortable because obviously we have different opinions on this. I think it's a genuinely debatable battle, which is good for Steams because again, he's had Geechee, he's had A Ward, he's had Saga, now has Twerk. I do have him losing 3 out of those 4 battles that I just said, but I have him beating Twerk here, and the dude has a legitimately serious resume and has been putting in a lot of work here. And if he's one of these guys like Payne, Steams obviously, and then like a couple of others I'm forgetting the names that have like been getting these looks on Street Talk, I can see Steams maybe getting the Rex battle that that was supposed to get here on a different card and things like that, and continuing to add more and more onto his year. I think he's deserving of that still. He showed up here as he should have.
All right. And then I guess that leaves one battle in the recap here. And this one, I'm not just aggravated with, or I'm gonna say like some upsetting things about how it was handled, but it's kind of sad. You know, Hollow to Don versus Chef Trez going down in this environment at the end of the night. I mean, it did to the footage in the battle what you would think. The crowd was completely disengaged and did not care, talking through the battles the whole night. You even had Hollow starting off the battle, taking the mic from Scoop, the host and league owner, saying, you know, we know y'all got to put y'all kids to sleep, man. We're going to make this quick. I don't want to hear at the beginning of Hollow versus Chef Trez, a battle that
during the main event of the show, he's grabbing the mic and being like, "Hey,
Yo,
I know you guys want to go. Come on, just hey, like,
yeah,
I don't hear that."
That's not what you want to hear. And what's actually even more upsetting, if that's even possible, is Hollow. Chef Trez, of course, we expect it, but Hollow too is pretty good in this battle. Like, if you're looking at just the material, this actually turned out to be what you would think, the little bit of rebuttaling and dialogue back and forth, the different flow pockets. I think Trez was punching at a higher level, and I do think Trez won this battle clearly and would have won it clearly in any setting. But I think Hollow fought back in the first 2 rounds, although I had Trez up 2-0. So they had composure. They were performing with energy, even though nobody there cared. But by the time that the 3rd round hit, they both quit on the battle. And I can't even say I fully blame them. Hollow rapped about 30 seconds. Crowd was talking crazy. He said, Loopy, I'm out of here. You know, I don't want to rap anymore. And Trez looked at him like, you know, if you did that shit, like, I'm finna do that shit.
Trez stop. Trez's 3rd is really good. Like, the material he has in his 3rd is like great, honestly. That might be my favorite material he has in the entire battle. And then as he's going, he just says, time, man, and just stops. Like, the middle of rapping. Granted, he already won the round pretty clearly by that point anyway, because Hollow didn't do much, as we said. But Trez is mid rapping and just says time and stops. Like, this is a Trez and Hollow should be a really, really big deal. And it's a big deal enough as to where Scoop wanted to book the battle in the first place and make it the main event of this card and all this shit. So clearly people view it as a big battle. The issue with it here is like everything surrounding it, from the delay, from the way the crowd was throughout the event, how long this event ran, the delays in between battles, how late it was by the time Trez and Hollow goes on. It's like you sabotage this big battle of the most prolific freestyle guy of the quote unquote new era versus one of the most prolific freestyle guys of the older golden era, if you want to say. Mm-hmm. And that is just now like sabotaged and doesn't really matter as much because of what the end quality of this battle was. And that's a shame. That's a real shame that something like this, where Trez said Hollow and Rock are his Mook and Lux. Those are his endgame battles. And we saw what he did for Rock. And I'm not gonna say that he's as good here versus Hollow as he was versus Rock, because he was phenomenal versus Rock. But like, he's really fucking good here. His written material is fantastic here.
You would compare it if it was in a different setting. If it was just a different setting and it was received differently, that Chef Trez performance is like every other top tier Chef Trez performance from last bit. It was really elite work, and they just did not care. They at that point, there was people in the building, but no one was there for a battle rap event. That's the energy that it had at that point in the night. So it's unfortunate, because it was even a decent Hollow. And I think it's supposed to be Hollow's last battle in New York. Battlers lie every day. That it sets off my battler line detector a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. But if it really is his last battle in New York and it's that, what a sad and just unnecessary way for a legend to end that chapter of his career. It's just bad. It doesn't make you feel happy watching the event at all.
Yeah, it's the word you use, shame, is perfect, because like Hollow's the last freestyler for Trez battle. Like, Trez has gotten all those guys off the list, right?
DNA, Clips, Sharon.
Yeah, like Big Cannon. I think he's got a Big Cannon.
I think so. Yeah. Born Legacy 7.
Right, like he's gotten all the free
that's a crazy pull. I ain't gonna lie.
That point,
Legacy, though, getting the card on that is crazy.
That was a good time. That was a wild time. That's when Big Cannon started pushing people during battles and stuff. That was funny. Yeah, that's he's gotten all those guys. And Hollow was like the last one of those guys. He's battled A-Ward already. I mean, they could run a rematch, so I wouldn't be mad if A-Ward
be fine.
But he's seen everybody. Hollow was the last one. That's like you said. That's his Mook or Lux. That's one of his in-game battles. So we hate to see it go down in a setting like that where it's just not going to be appreciated properly, and not due to the battles at all, due to the management of the event.
Which gonna kind of goes into, I guess, all these topics spinning out of Now We're Number Three, which me and Smoke can say wasn't a great viewing experience. There's some gems here, and people do walk away with some wins that highlight or bolster their year a bit. Payne walks away with one. Ill Will and Cortez is solid. I'm sure we'll be talking more about them come the end of the year, maybe for come Cody top 20, because these guys are having like solid years. Like who knows? Like Trez continues to roll on. So there's things that to take away from here. But I think to me is like really the oversaturation of battle rap and how that bleeds into things like bootlegging or things like people not respecting the league where an event is taking place or where these battles are taking place at. Because as much as there is the delay part that factors into things, people waiting outside and the 4 hour delay before the event starts, or the 50-minute delay between some battles and things like that. To me, I also view it as a byproduct of people not respecting the league or platform that is happening here, because it's a newer place. There's new people involved. They don't have established relationships with these people and everything. And Scoop went on and talked about like directly said clips and Shuni and shit like that, and probably went a little OD on how he reacted to it, to be honest. But I
Oh, I
think
missed
there's a
this. I missed
yeah,
this.
yeah. Scoop was in a couple of different spaces and
Mhm.
talked about people. Well, one Uppercut podcast. That dude was apparently at the event, and while he was there, he was like recording and streaming the battles onto YouTube, and he had to like press him out over that shit. Like
Like
objectively,
multiple times. Like told him to stop. He said, "I got you," and it was like a battle later. Apparently, he did it. So bootlegging online is one thing, but
a
in
bootlegging in the nigga
person,
face, like,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
yo,
yeah.
I
That's
can
a different
see
animal.
you. I
like
could
bro,
see you right there.
like
He
my
said
nigga,
he was on
like my
stage.
nigga, you right next to me, bro. What are you doing? Like
That's a
like
different level of disrespect right there. I'm
yeah,
not
that's
gonna
what I'm
lie to
saying.
you.
Like,
You
look,
put me in the video. Like I'm looking right at you. So that's definitely there's no shame in that.
but I do think that there is oversaturation that's taking place that goes to the bootlegging. But I want to ask you guys first about like the talking during the events and how these events become more social hours and parties and get-togethers that see to see friends that you haven't seen in a while or you haven't seen in like a week, because it's battle rap and there's a battle event every week. So maybe you haven't seen this person in a week, really. But like I think that there is like a lack of respect for these smaller leagues sometimes, which isn't new, but I think bleeds into why there's so much talking and a whole bunch of other nonsense that's taking place during these events. Because if you respected the people running it, you wouldn't be doing that, is what I would think.
Yeah, let me come off the bench. I was late. Late to the game.
You know,
Didn't even play the
this
first
is your
quarter.
topic right
Go,
here.
go
Yeah,
ahead,
let me
go
hop
ahead.
off the bench real quick.
Microwave badge going. Let's go.
Yeah. I think the talking at events thing is weird because it's a strange thing because I remember Resolution in Atlanta, right? People were like, "Oh, yo, there's so much talking going on, so much talking going on." And what's funny is it wasn't necessarily fans that were doing all the talking. It was a bunch of people who were there, probably, got in as plus ones or whatever in the background, in the bar behind us. And France remembers this. Like people in the bar behind the bar area. There's a bar area on stage, behind the stage. Not a great idea, by the way. Should never have a bar on stage at a bat. That's just should never happen again, right? There's like a bar area back there. There's a bunch of people back there just talking, talking, talking. Like that's where most talk was coming from. It wasn't necessarily fans. Most fans that were on stage pass were like tuned into the battles, right? But I think it's a couple things going into it, right? It's people like you said that don't necessarily care about the platform, just want to be back. Or the battles, want to be back there and talk. They're there for a specific person. When that person comes to rap, then go stand behind them. When they done rapping, they go stay on stage, go back talking some more. Even like I said, fans that
That's the
because
play-by-play
it's
right there. There's a lot of
yeah,
people I know that's their goal. I'm going to
yeah,
be in your entourage, and then I'm going to talk over the rest of the battles.
yeah. I'll be here the rest of the night on this stage because you got me on stage. I'm not leaving, right? Like it's one of the problems with the entourages in battle rap, right? It's one of the things that comes up very frequently that people don't like to talk about because typically battles don't like to talk about because typically they're peers who are doing it. If we're gonna be honest about it, you don't see too many paying people unless there's a bar and they're drunk and they're trying to flirt with the ladies at King of Diamonds, right? You don't see too many paid people doing a bunch of talking, or if there's technical issues, if the mics aren't working and they can't hear in the back. Well, what else am I supposed to do? I can't hear the fucking battles anyway. I'm just gonna have a conversation over here on the side. What else can I do with my time? I can't listen to the battles. I can't get up. I'm not going all the way up there. I'm gonna come to the bar and talk, have a couple of drinks, right? I think that plays into it. Starting late also is a thing. Like if the battle's supposed to start after when brunch ends, and we starting the battles at dinner, we got issues. We got issues. Was Arsenal selling spaghetti? Was there food there? Were they
I don't know.
hungry?
I don't know if Arsenal takes his
That might be
food
a
ventures all the way
studio.
up north like that.
It's a
I'm
Yeah,
good
I'm
that
I'm
might
not
point.
be a
sure.
studio, a URL studio
Yeah,
only. I'm
that's an
not sure. I can't
Orlando-based.
dictate
It's an
how that
Orlando-based
business
company.
runs, but no
That's an
question.
Orlando-based company. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So yeah, like I think all those things play into effect with these events when it comes to talking in the venues and things of that nature. That was not being respected. Bootlegging,
This is different and complicated.
boot. Unlike Hulk Hogan's legacy, this is actually complicated, right? Um, Bootlegging. It's a thing where I don't condone it necessarily because the money in battle rap, as we know, it's not that great. Bootlegging a battle rap event can actually literally cripple an event.
Yes.
Bootleg. There's levels to bootlegging, right? Bootlegging where you gotta are you on a stream? Okay, where you're streaming it and charging niggas to come into your stream as opposed to getting the pay. That's some different. That's different.
That's
That's
disrespectful
really
as shit.
crazy.
That's
Yeah, that's
crazy as
really
hell.
crazy. Like you're not on stream meets with it. You charging me to come to your like. That's some different stuff, right? Like I think that's just a lack of respect and a lack of yeah, it's a lack of respect. No other word to put it. A lack of couth, a lack of honor, right? Um, that's crazy. That's my fiance, y'all. That's hilarious. But yeah, like there is a lack of clear respect and understanding. Yeah, I mean, hey, you said it, not me. Um, uh, and I think that people do always do the thing where it's like, oh well, y'all bootleg movies and fights and things of that nature. It's
It's,
like it's not really the same
matter of fact,
because
I
those
did.
corporations have TV deals, right?
We're not no goddamn UFC, man. You
Yeah,
know,
like
this
the
is not.
UFC has a
But
multi-million
Like
dollar
you
industry.
give me
I got
NBA
a perfect
money.
example for you.
Are
Like
you giving me NBA
Hmm?
money? Like, what? Like, it's a terrible comparison, man.
I got a perfect example for you. Like I think UFC 3 was it 317 that had Ilya versus Charles Oliveira, right?
Hmm.
Right.
Like UFC events do massive buy rates a lot of the times, like 2.4 million. They have crossed the million threshold several different times, but I think Ilya versus Charles Oliveira was maybe like 100,000 away from a million, so like 900,000 give or take, right? So let's say that there are 100,000 people that watch Ilya versus Charles Oliveira through whatever sort of dark arts and illegal means that you might watch, that you might find a stream, right?
Whatever sea you sailed on.
You know, like whatever you found.
Hmm.
That's still like 900,000 people that bought the pay per view, like that
Right.
paid the $70 to watch the pay per view, and that's not even counted like factoring in the sponsors for said event, or the people that or like the Buffalo Wild Wings of the world, where they're like.
Dave and Buster's as well.
Or the sports bars or whatever
Yeah.
that are all buying the pay per view and like showing it there at these watch parties and at the restaurants and establishments or whatever. There's so much money being made by a UFC event, by a Canelo fight, that it doesn't matter that like there's 100,000 people might have been on Stream East and watch the fight or watch the card. Like the battle rap is not that. It's
At
not.
all.
It's not that kind of corporately backed, corporately funded entity. And when it was, you guys hated it, or when you or when you thought it was, you hated it. And you wanted, and you acted like it was the worst thing in the world, and this thing that was going to cripple battle rap and change it and censor battle rap and all that shit. It goes away,
Mm.
and now like we think it's okay to just bootleg and stream these events. Where look, the thing that makes it complicated is there's so many fucking leagues. The oversaturation of it is hard. If there's 3 events a weekend and they're all 35, 40, $45, maybe upward depending on how many big names that you have on the event. Shelling that out every week, every 2 weeks, whatever, that makes it very expensive to be a battle rap fan. And we came on
Right.
here last week and talked about how pay-per-view is an archaic model. Um like at this point when it comes to media consumption and how
Mhm.
battle rap is really behind the times and still being so based in pay-per-view. but they're trying to make their money back off these events. So I get why these leagues are trying to do these pay-per-views. That's the part that makes it complicated.
Yeah,
But the
and
idea
put
that these niggas are so
ACP's comment back up there,
unethical.
friends. Yeah, put ACP's comment back up there because I think ACP is 100% right. If you can find that comment from ACP. Yeah, bootlegging cripbles profits, but it shouldn't affect performances nor pay-per-view production. That's the other part,
Yes.
right?
Mm.
It's harder for me to get as angry as I should be about bootlegging because I don't like it. I don't condone it. It's hard for me to be super mad about it when a stream doesn't work properly.
When
A
there's a
stream starts late.
when there's a
The
4 or 5
sound
hour
quality is
delay.
bad. Yeah, there's a 5 hour delay. The sound quality is bad. Oh, I bought this pay per view. It was supposed to be 7 battles, and it turned into 5 1-rounders. And no one told me how that happened. What went on here? What's going on? That doesn't make sense. No one told me that, right?
Yeah.
That's it's part of the problem with battle rap business. And we all did an article like that. We formed Voltron last year and put a whole article together about battle rap business, how like messed up it is, and how you're expecting battle rap customers for sure. We accept the bare minimum in all categories of this stuff. Like Smo said earlier, a 2 hour delay, we'll deal with it. You know,
But
hour
that's
delay,
crazy.
2 hour delay.
Imagine saying
Yeah,
imagine saying the NBA finals is going to start 2 hours is going to start 2 hours late
bro.
because the
SGA
buses
didn't show up to the
because the
facility
buses broke down. Like, yo,
SGA didn't try to take
if
to
you
his
don't get these
hotel
niggas
room.
fucking like get these niggas a
Yeah.
helicopter
And get
and
them to the
get them to the arena.
immediately, like right now. Like, what are you talking about? But
No,
like
man, it's
the lack of professionalism in battle rap permeates throughout the culture, and it does affect the fact that it does affect the product in terms of pay per view. Now, the real truth is, and the hard truth is, if there's something to be paid for, someone will find it for free. That is the bottom line of society. That is just how we are wired in any society. Money is tight, inflation is high. Eggs was $7. It's hard to spend 35 or 50 on a pay per view when this 12 pack of eggs was $12 a day. I gotta eat. I can't eat these bars. This late ass event that started, I can't do nothing with that. I can't eat that. Can't eat that. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of the problem. Like I said, like we said last week, like I said again, pay per view is it's just not the way to go anymore. The way to go, honestly, is to be on a streaming platform that then pays you a fee. You broadcast your events. Shout out to the WWE. WWE was like, yo, we got WWE Network. You know what they did? They said, hey, this shit not making money. Somebody buy this. Peacock bought it. Made it to a Peacock.
But
Now all their things that used to be pay-per-views are now PLEs, and you got to get a Peacock subscription. You get to go watch it whenever you want. Same with
this is the thing is like
yeah.
battle rap is so splintered off, and
Mhm.
everyone wants to start their own league that like nothing like this can exist because
Mhm.
everyone also wants their own piece of the pie. So it's like theoretically, right? If URL and KOTD at one point have their own streaming services, URL has their own. If KOT had another, that would make some sense. I'm sure there'd be people that would pay for a URL streaming service and a KOTD streaming service.
Mhm.
But when we factor in the other leagues that then pop up that want to run pay per view and run major events and book major battles and do things like that. Like, no, I'm not going to be inclined to like subscribe to whatever Street Talks Vimeo is if they want to like start running like a streaming service or I'm going to go subscribe to the Black Mafia Battle League Vimeo streaming service. Like that's a lot at that point for leagues that don't have that much content in order to provide. Really, it's a lot, and like I sympathize and I feel bad for battle rap in a lot of ways because I don't think that like people who are involved in battle rap pay attention enough to like the outside things of battle rap and other entertainment mediums to really figure out a way to make battle rap palatable as an entertainment product in 2025. And that might just be a battle rap problem. Maybe battle rap is so weird and so niche and has so many problems that like maybe it's impossible to figure out an actual answer and solution here. But the solution also isn't these $45 pay-per-views every other weekend for these leagues that I have no faith, no trust in, when sometimes you can barely trust URL, you can barely trust the trenches, you can barely trust Chrome, you can barely even trust the big leagues sometimes to start on time. So I trust a small event and they're also not starting on time and being even worse and more egregious about it. So bootlegging is wrong as fuck. Being proud to do it is wrong as fuck. Streaming, charging niggas to come in there and watch the stream that you are
That's a real
bootlegging
motherfucker.
is wrong as fuck. Like,
Real motive for that.
Yeah.
but like,
And if I can say real quick, because you guys have covered pretty much all the points for it, and I think that there's also just levels of complaints. I think Titus said it great. The levels to bootlegging. I think bootlegging specifically hurts like our URLs, our TBLs, like leagues like that are supposed to be our powerhouse leagues. Even they can't afford to, and these are the ones booking the biggest battles that need the most return because they're putting up the most money. So when we talk about bootlegging at that level, or even Calico, his league is definitely not, URL level, but between Winter Madness and Still Outside, he's thrown some larger level cards. He's booked a Murder Mook battle. Those are the leagues that really need the money back because those are our biggest investments. We as fans have to invest in them too. But with small leagues, to be real with you, some of them shouldn't even have pay-per-views. They don't even have the capabilities or the ethics to put together a proper stream. They can barely put together a proper event. So at a small league level, I'm not saying that it's okay at all. But
yeah,
there is
I agree.
million non-functional issues that small leagues have before we should even worry about the pay-per-view. Is the venue going to open on time? It's like, or do the mics work? Can they hear our raps? When we have the very foundational fucking things that you need for a rap battle figured out, then you can get the pay-per-view. But for the big dog leagues that book Hitman, that book Mook, Twerk, Nitty, Geechee, Lux, etc., that's the one that bootlegs hurt the worst. So I just think it's different levels depending on the conversation.
But I will say, to your point though, is the reason why the URL app exists is because the money that can be made off of YouTube revenue drastically dipped, and it was no longer the same as what it was before. So while I do think that's totally fair and the right move, maybe to like cut down on pay-per-views, one, so like the consumer is not getting their pockets attacked so frequently and so constantly. But this is also the only way for these leagues to make money back now because of the demonetization that has happened to battle rap content over the last several years. So that's why I think this conversation still remains complicated and why we might not have all the answers here. And I'm not sure who has the answers here. But these leagues, even these smaller ones, like again, like Street Talk, like whoever else, are still running these events and these pay-per-views because this is still the only way they can make the money back because YouTube isn't making them any money either.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, right? It's egg $7, man. Like $55 pay per view, $7 for eggs. That's $62 right there. And I ain't got my French. I ain't got my bread yet. I ain't got the bacon. I might spend $100 today and have
like cinnamon might be $8.
Oh my god. Oh
my God. I was finna have breakfast, but then that URL app payment hit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
it's real.
But with that being said, do we have any closing thoughts on bootlegging?
Yeah, I think like you said, I think battle rap fans for a long time we were very spoiled, right? I think the idea that even back in the day, right before pay per view was a thing, right? When events used to go to YouTube, it's like, oh, this event's gonna be on YouTube. I can't wait for that, right? So we were very spoiled with the ability to get this stuff for free, right? Pay per view came around. It was only the big leagues where we were like, cool, I'll pay for it. But then everybody wants pay per view now. Everybody's gonna pay per view. Nobody wants to come together. Everybody wants their own money. I do find it interesting to see the battlers become league owners and realize that there's no money in this. It's like, yeah. There's no money.
URL were the biggest bad guys in the world. My battlers behind the app. It's not the same visibility. All this different shit. Just for these battlers to be like, you know what? They had a point. They might have knew what they were talking about. The league owners that like are watching the analytics and the numbers might have known what they were talking about in terms of the revenue that is now possible to bring in with the changing landscape. They might have known what they were talking about.
Yeah. Man, Joel said it. Yeah, the answer is another major venture capitalist needs to convince their investors to waste millions on a streaming service. IDK, anyone looks at battle rap as a smart investment. That's really it. It's not smart to invest in battle rap, but somebody do it. Please.
Just pay the media again too.
I don't got nothing to give you back. Just do something kind. It'll make you feel better. It's good.
Yeah, do it for the culture. So King Malcolm back and save us with NFTs.
I guess this will be a good time to maybe talk about Cameron's tournament. since we're at this topic.
Oh, yeah.
FaceTime tournament.
Uh, Cameron is hosting a tournament that that somehow people got confused and thought it was Cameron starting a battle rap league.
Everyone's starting fucking leagues. No one knows anything anymore.
Yeah, everything's a league apparently.
Everything's a league, yes.
So Cameron is running a tournament, and there's some involvement with Revolt TV too. So there's a little bit of added. It is.
Oh yeah, they got rid of old boy. That's right. I forgot. They got rid of old boy and kept the network going. That's right, my fault.
Yeah. So there's gonna be some Revolt involvement, and it would be more interesting if it wasn't the fact that like the first 3 or 4 rounds, whatever, how many rounds there are up until the finals, are all virtual battles. But the finals are an in-person battle. We got some interesting names here. Battles are 3 rounds, 60 seconds. I believe it's fan voted. We're not having judges. I believe these are fan voted battles. We got some interesting names here. We have Danny Myers, Yoshi G, Head Ice, Shooting the Rapper, D.I. the Hennyman, E. Ness, Mac Myron, J400, J Murda, O Solo. We have Greg the Great. I don't know who the fuck that is, but he's here.
Don't sleep on Greg the Great.
We have Traumatose and Heat. Again, I don't know who these men are. Shout out to them. We got B Magic, Oompi. You guys see the bracket up on the screen. What are your thoughts on the Killer Countdown, fellas?
Can they have can do a triple screen, right? Like one battle on the left, one battle on the right, and like a background of a pool table in the middle?
Oh, that'd be hard.
Like Digital Fight Club.
Yeah, this is
FaceTime Fight Club.
You're asking what thoughts I have. Not a lot. Not a lot. Virtual battle rap is not great. You know what I'm saying? Like typically I like my battle rap live action. You know, that's just
but listen, virtual battle rap is where we first heard T-Rock's left hand bar.
Oh yeah, versus Rio Nikosi.
Rio Nikosi. Come on, you remember that? You remember that?
Yeah. He's a battler? Yo, never mind.
Rio Nikosi is Audibon's last battle. Be respectful.
I forgot about it.
He is?
Crazy.
Yes. They had a virtual battle.
No,
Rio was in like a fake jail cell. It was a whole thing.
Is Rio and Cozy a virtual top tier?
We might like battle rap a little too much. That's what I'm we might have to be less fans. I'm not gonna lie. Rio Nikosi poll is felonious. With this tournament, it's virtual. We'll see at the end, right? So the last battle is going to be just for the 100K in person. Does that mean maybe? I definitely don't want another league. Please, God. Please stop. But if they want to throw like one card, like you want to throw something along with your 100K battle, I don't hate the idea of that. But for the most part, I think it's 60-second rounds, fan-voted virtual battles. So top tiers are going to make it as long as they're clean because it's fan-voted. Right. You know, I get to see B Magic and Oompi is pretty cool. That's my one thing I'll take away from this is even in a 60-second format, that might be all right. And I'm excited to see B Magic maybe make some type of digital run through this tournament. But
I think B Magic is my guy to win this.
I wish 60-second rounds. Is he Ness in this tournament? I wish Ness was in this tournament.
He is.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Ness is my favorite. I got ENS.
No, honestly, I got B Magic and I got ENS. I think that should be the finals.
And then on top of that, I saw some. I just saw some low tier behavior from low tier battle rappers online. Like after this gets announced, they're like saying how Cameron should use the money to help. Like, man, if you don't go shut the fuck up and write or something, man, you're not worried about counting Cameron's pockets for this 100K tournament he's about to do. You need to go worry about something at your level. I hated seeing that because I could question it being virtual battles, but at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of action battle where someone's going to win 100K off of this.
And that's
so this
awesome.
is a great thing for one of the artists. And I'm not one to tell them how to spend the money.
Here's the thing. If this actually happens, then Cameron already did more for battle rap than Cassidy.
Let's talk about it. Let's use words like impact. You know what? We're going to revisit that one day very soon. I'm not going to lie because we'll have to talk about that at some point.
Cassidy might have ended the league though. Like that's a different kind of impact. He might have shut the whole league down.
A fairly reputable league at that.
Yeah,
he's like the Galactic battle rap. Like
he close up shop.
He devoured elite. He devoured bullpen. It's crazy.
Oh, he
Yo, battle
Galactus
rap ain't enough. I need planets, dog. You can't even
Man.
plan it, dog.
So speaking of battlers, returning, maybe things of that nature, we have, well, I guess it's not really a return. I was gonna bring up K Shine's card, but we did get a great announcement. And we saved this one, you know what I'm saying, for when you come back, Titus. We did get the announcement for Summer Madness 15. Not only did we get the announcement, it's happening in London. First time since SM8, you know what I'm saying? So that's a big venture. And then obviously, gentlemen, it's Loaded Lux versus New Jersey Twerk. This is
the beloved bro.
We talked a lot about things in battle rap that don't make us smile, but this one absolutely makes us smile. How are we feeling about this mega match?
Oh man, the beloved bro. I am
the brotherhood.
I can't. Brotherhood. This is a great announcement, man. Okay, so I'm with two thoughts. All right. You know what? One of y'all go first. I'll go last. One of y'all go first. Start the segment off positively.
Q, you want to give your thought?
I ain't gonna lie, that was a crazy setup here because, like, that I feel like, because that I also. I'm gonna be real. Mega matchup, box office, like one of the biggest matchups that you can make in battle rap as far as what you can possibly do right now. It's massive. I've never wanted to see Twerk and Lux battle each other personally. That's not something I've ever been super duper interested in. The god tier whatever battles that interested me the most for Twerk was Twerk and Hitman. And I still think that is by far the most interesting Twerk god tier plate. But he got Mook. Great performance there. Love that battle. So and then Nitty and Lux was fantastic. So that maybe gives me a little bit of pause and hope for Twerk and Lux being really good too. But it's not something that I've ever particularly wanted. I'm gonna just be totally honest about that. But with Lux's last performance being what it was, Twerk having shown up in these big battles the way that he has the last couple of years, the way what he did to Big K on power moves, the Mook performance, he's shown up in these really, really big spots as of recently. So maybe it is going to be a actually really good battle. It's just not one that I've ever been super intrigued or inclined to want to see. But it's a home run, massive success announcement for URL because this is the kind of shot in the arm I think they needed this year.
Yeah, this was a big time one. And I think that one of the main complaints, although I like the Gnome card, obviously it also didn't play out too well, even for the things I liked about it. And people said, listen, we need big battles. Like when Gnome comes out or SM comes out, we want to be shocked. And I can tell you, I was proper shocked when just like randomly on a Saturday morning, there isn't even rumblings of when SM is going to get announced or anything like that. And then boom, Twerk versus Lux dropped. So I think that they actually captured something with the way that they dropped the battle. And I see some people complaining about like it being in London. And I can understand like it is like American battle rappers. It's a mega match for American battle rappers. And it's probably not accessible for a lot of people to like go to London. Like not everyone just has like time to mark out and go to a different country. But I'll tell you what, that crowd's going to appreciate it a lot more than some of the crowds that we got here, man. They don't get this level of battle rap that often, right? They always accommodate any American battler that goes over there very well. And they have some love for their scene, which has kind of died down over the years. But there's going to be people that get to see Loaded Lux that never in their life thought that could happen. You know what I mean? That building's going to be packed out. I'm sure they have some bad blood for New Jersey Twerk because truth be told, he has stole money from leagues over there, feels like on a plethora of occasions, or at least wasted time. At the very least, wasted time. But even with that, there's going to be people that want to see New Jersey Twerk battle out there, especially versus a legend like that. So I see no problem with it going out to London. I mean, at the end of the day, I can understand maybe for Houston. I saw some people, maybe Goods, even said like New York. Yeah, like New York was fucking fantastic for Gnome 15 guys. Let's just run that back. Since
but also like you said, I think there's a really strong novelty factor for not only is Lux battling and it not being in New York once again. We've seen Lux in Houston, we've seen Lux in LA, but Lux in London is like that's like what the fuck? That's a massive kind of like oh wow
like not from our timeline. Like we're now this is where Lux battles. Like
like I could see this being like a massive sellout, no tickets left sold out well in advance success just based off Lux versus like Lux being in London. That's crazy.
Absolutely. Um, I forgot that you also have had the similar feelings as I do too. So I'll take it as negative because you already breached the negative door. I'm happy for one thing that I will say is that one of the things capitalism does breed is competition. And good old TBL over there down the street with that Hitman and Mook announcement, URL had to do something big. And they did it. By God, they went and got it done. They went and got Lux and they went and got Twerk. Like I said, it's a mega matchup. It's a big matchup. It means a lot to the culture. I particularly don't see the appeal in the actual battle of it. I just their styles don't mesh well for me to where I can see like a battle that interests me. But I've been surprised before. Maybe I'll be surprised again. It's perfectly fine. But from that aspect from the booking aspect of, I'm very happy. I think London's gonna be really cool for that battle. Like you said, I think it's gonna be a fun environment. London, Euro, what was it? SM8
SM8.
now?
It
8 in
was like
London.
seven years ago.
Yeah, like it was mad. Like, it was great. The crowd was super engaged. The URL crowd loves. They'll be loved over there. It'll be beautiful. I'm excited to see what the rest of the card looks like. See if any other surprises they got up their sleeve for that card. I'm excited to see what they got planned. I think it's great for URL. I think URL needed this kind of look, this kind of mega matchup. Because Gnome, like you said, Gnome was what it was, but Gnome also didn't have a standout main event truly.
Like a Twerk, like a Lux battle. It had nothing close to a Lux battle.
Yeah. It didn't have anything like that, right? So for it to have this kind of mega matchup, to get Lux back outside again, Lux taking the Wonder Twins back to back in Nitty and Twerk is super interesting.
That's that. I find that very admirable in a way that like Lux has come back and went straight into like, hey, these are like the new era goats or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
it took them back. That's respectable smoke. That's respectable smoke, right?
Anything to not battle DNA.
Good because of it. Anything not DNA is crazy.
That's how Lux feels. That's how
Yeah,
feels.
but you know what's funny? Wouldn't Lux versus DNA like be actually pretty interesting in London?
Yes.
Like Lux and DNA in London actually sounds like an interesting time. But like, but like obviously it makes sense as to why Twerk gets the battle here and not DNA. But Lux and DNA in London actually sounds kind of interesting.
Because of the matchup, though, I think that, and listen, I don't think it's hard to say, oh, it'll be like Lux versus Nitty with how good it was. But I mean, like, there is a high level writing prowess here. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we got to give, Twerk, obviously there's going to be advantages with performance and energy. And maybe as we get closer to like the card being fully announced, we'll go down to like the X's and the O's of it. But they're both going to write some like really good written shit because Twerk has that Nitty like ability where it's going to be like very detailed, pen of all pens writing versus like bombs, like modern day. I am just hitting you with the best bar of the round over and over. So kind of that layered writing versus that straight explosiveness. I do think there is interest there. It's just not like heavily promoted, like, Lux and Nitty, for all like, people kind of complained about it, is actually like ridiculously promoted. It got promoted into happening. Twerk and Lux is as simple as like Lux is a god tier and Twerk's a superstar. So we're just going to throw them in there. They haven't went back and forth that much, but I'm excited for it. I think that they're going to have a well-written and very good battle. There's so many things to kind of think out before I was to pick a winner, but I do think there's people like, oh, they're not going to understand him in London. I actually think these people are going to be so starved to see this guy. Some people, this is their go. You know what I mean? And they thought never in their life they would even get an opportunity with how far he is. They're going to be hanging on every word like nothing you've ever liked. They already do that with Lux, and he's undefeated in YouTube comments, and we know how his army gets to going. But in the UK, like there's people that are.
Lux is international. Lux is like, he's not just a.
Don't talk about guy like that, Smo.
Lux isn't just a god to like American battle rap fans. Lux is an international battle rap icon.
He's a piece of hip hop history, to be perfectly
honest.
Lux might draw up there with Mook like the most respect for anyone that can mention things outside of the culture. So what an ACP is. It's a big announcement. Is it a great announcement? I mean, listen, I guess that depends on how you feel about the matchup. I think maybe you guys are leaning towards like good and huge, but not great. I think it's a great announcement. I think it's
a great announcement because people are going to care about it.
Yeah.
Whether it's a good battle or not is a different conversation, right?
Right. That's kind of like
overlook.
that's kind of why don't overlook the
Yeah.
fact that by going to London, URL is not competing for live ticket
Well, I'm
sales.
here. I'm here to tell you that Loaded Lux was selling out the building regardless. But I do understand, kind of maybe, but I don't think that would have been an issue. I think if they threw
Yeah.
that out in like any city, Houston maybe would have been a little different because they would have both been in Houston. But they could
Right.
put that in most.
If you run that in Charlotte, something like that,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
probably
It's
some
going
stuff.
down. It's going down for sure.
Yeah, but no, I'm excited to see, and hopefully, if this came out of nowhere like this, maybe the second and third will come out soon. Because if it's London URL, I know how things have been the last few years doing shit last second. I know you like to put out the full cards 2 to 3 weeks ahead of time. It's dumb. We don't like it, but it keeps happening. It is fucking London, people.
Yeah.
Like, if there's ever time to give people time. I mean, hell, we might even be a little late in the game right now for the way you're dropping this. If it's going to be September, but please have this full card out
passport.
next
If people
week.
aren't passport ready right now, they probably can't be on the card. Honestly.
Yeah, please, in the next 2 weeks, have this full card out so people can like go
Yeah.
if they want to. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just as simple as that. But I'm a fan of it, and I guess we'll be returning to Talk SM when we get a little bit closer to it, man.
For sure. And I do want to go ahead and say, no matter what the results of this battle are, this is the only battle stake I'm gonna have on it. Twerk ain't moving into no all-time top 5, respectfully.
Twerk isn't moving into no all-time top. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. That even if he won this, it's like
It's impossible.
I can't.
There's too many things that already happened too.
Yeah.
As a talent, as a peer, that's why people do conversations like at 100%.
You're right.
People will say things like purely talent to remove the fuckery. Like, yo, besides all this,
if you remove execution and success from all the metrics,
like, and listen, I'm not. And Twerk is a phenomenal and is a heavily all-time ranking battle rapper, even with those fuck ups, right? But it's funny, fans will be like, if we take away the losses. It's
like really think about it. If you take away the fact that he has 5 championships, is Tim Duncan really better than Anthony Davis? It's like
right. No, but people. I remember when people used to do that shit, and that's kind of like what they will do sometimes in battle rap. Is like, let's remove all the bad and only look at the good.
Right.
Like, yeah, then he's probably pretty good, right? So we'll see about that then, but it'll definitely be a culture shifter. Speaking of culture shifters, how about not just shifting a culture? How about rebirthing a culture?
Man,
Payne
that was crazy.
Against all odds. I don't know what odds were against you. I think it was yourself. However, we are here.
Honestly, I think he was playing. He was gambling by himself. There was no other person involved in whatever.
He was being bamboozled.
Yeah, but
bamboozled.
The return card is finally here. They got the flyer right. We're not going to joke too hard on pay-per-view. That was a good time. That first flyer was very crazy.
K-Shine said he was too eager to put the flyer out. He was being thirsty.
Yeah, the zip code had 6 members. It was a locker combination.
And shout out to Shine, by the way, because in Shine's interviews that he's done, which I'm glad to see Shine doing interviews and speaking up and doing stuff. Shine took accountability. Hey, I was thirsty to announce stuff. He's talked about things with the Power Network and how all that unfolded and how janky that was.
He talked to URL fairly civilly in that 3. That interview with 3 was his best interview out of these 15.
It seems like he's in a better place than he was.
Yes.
And I'm happy about that because Shine's been in a very, very dark place. What went on with his personal life. You can kind of see the dots and how all this timeline lines up, right? But like I said, the 3-letter interview was great. The best point, I think, the thing that stuck out to me the most in that interview is when he said about the Power Network. He was like, they thought they could take advantage of somebody who was vulnerable.
Yes.
And like,
and that is real. Because he was making questionable decisions. And listen, this is a culture that actually forgives quite a bit. Like, I think even though like angles and things like this will last against you, it's actually very hard to hold anything against them. And I think that he's been pretty open about like real life stuff that happened. And we always want to see, like, even if we make fun of, and I have, and might continue to, depending on this event turns out, the results of the battle rapping, what goes on with the event, you want to see like our legends like to be good as human beings, like be okay.
We can have all the thoughts that are possible with like how the URL stuff got handled and if Shine handled things in the correct way and what his mental space was during all of that. But at the end of the day, Titus has been on this K Shine thing for a long time, and Titus's whole point has been forever. I hope Shine is okay, because it seems like a man that was going through a lot. And if you know any of what was going on, then you know that like he went through some shit that was like I don't even know how you it's hard to function as a human being after that probably. So
Fact.
if this dude is feeling better, the business is feeling better for him, he can get this first battle out the way. I think that's really important. And we'll see what the end product of this looks like. But we do have the card coming up next weekend. So
Yes,
we'll do some predictions here on Rebirth of a Culture
that's
against
right.
all odds.
And there's only 4 battles, so that this is not, actually 4 is low key like a small amount, right? But in a world where leagues consistently book too many battles for a card, I do not need more than 6. I swear to God,
Facts.
I don't need more than 6. It's a different story.
TBO, don't you put another battle on
Yo,
Bulletproof.
yo,
Don't you book no more battles for Bulletproof.
Chill and
TBO.
Kenny, chill and Kenny.
Stop
Let me
right
tell you.
now.
I swear to God, bro. I swear to you. Don't you fucking do it.
Another battle.
Don't
I
drop
don't wanna
that shit.
I don't want to see like real sick come out the rafters like Owen Hart. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want. Definitely not like Owen Hart, not like Sting. I don't want to see any of that. I don't want to see any of that happen. There's going to be a lot of battles in that card, man. But with that being said, first battle, a little bit of a mystery right here because on 3 different flyers, I've seen Nick G, Nick C. Now his name is just Nick. I don't know who this guy is, but it's going to be Nick versus JC opening the card. So how do we feel about that?
Look, here's the thing. I'm gonna be totally real with you. I've never seen this gentleman rap. I've never seen him.
I don't know that, man.
I don't know how he
We
sounds.
zip him up. I believe we zip him up.
K Shine vouched for him. He said he was really fire on all the different tours and stuff like that. When K Shine was going on tour, Nick G was fire or whatever. So K Shine vouches for him. He's also might be zip him up. So that's also why he would vouch for him. I've never seen this man rap. I will try to get as familiar as I can before the event happens. But I've never seen this man rap. So I would like to think that JC would not lose to this individual. Right. Granted, this is a big opportunity for Nick G. So maybe he's super talented and we're just not aware yet. And he steps up to the plate and delivers here. But I've never seen this man rap. So I would like to think JC would handle business here.
This is a regular JC mission, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Saint Nick, Nicholas Craven, Nikki Banks, JC and 3.
Nikki Blackheart.
Nikki, my queen.
Man. So after that, though, we definitely have a battle. It is Big T versus Serious Jones.
Have y'all seen the Serious Jones media run as of late?
I've been tuned in.
Serious Jones.
I've been tuned in.
Why? He just doesn't understand why he's not appreciated more. And here's the thing, right? Back in the day, there was a little chat with LTBR before you Smo. It was a long time ago, so before you were there. It was like a Slack channel with a bunch of us. And Q, you and me were in that channel. That's how we met. That's how we got cool. We were like, yo, hey, Serious Jones don't be losing battles. It's the thing, like it was like a real time where Serious Jones wasn't losing battles. He was like, yo, he's winning all these battles. Like he's on King of the Dot, just winning. Real win. Like it was like, oh, he Serious Jones not losing. Why don't we talk about this more? Is he like the most winningest legend around we have around? Yeah. That was a real conversation, right? As time went on, the performances weren't living up to par, right? Like you could say he wasn't losing, but you could say that you lost valuable time in your life by watching.
I could say he lost to Mike P.
He did lose to Mike P.
Well, here's the thing: is that for a while he really didn't lose. There was a time where I think he's underappreciated. He doesn't lose as a fair take, but losses started happening.
They did.
That is the one thing. But I do think after some time, now I'm not saying he loses all of his battles. I think earlier this year, Serious Jones kind of quietly mopped up Marv 1 on Street Talk Entertainment, like we were talking about earlier. And I think that was on Mean 3. And a lot of people had it as a 3-0. I think you could debate it 2-1, but it's a clear battle either way. You know what I'm saying? So Serious still once in a while goes in there, especially in maybe a smaller environment, and can get some things done. I I don't have enough negative words to describe how I feel about the style matchup of Big T and Serious Jones. I don't think
they're going to. Matter of fact, I got you.
whatsoever.
I got you. I think this might be the worst booked battle of 2025. I
Yeah,
don't think that you can book a worse battle than Serious Jones versus Big T in 2025. I don't think that's possible. Based off of like the form, based off of the form that these men have been in for however long now, I'm not sure that there is a worse combination of battlers to create a watchable product than Serious Jones and Big T in the Big 2025. I think that this is terrorism.
It's not going to help. The pace of the battle is the biggest worry because Big T, it kind of like doesn't have much of pace anymore. He kind of just like raps. It's just, I don't know how to describe it. Like he used to have a flow he would go by. Now I just feel like he gets the words out at varying speeds. And Serious Jones just has a little bit more. Like I do think Serious Jones is going to win this battle.
Serious Jones will win this battle very clearly.
Best case scenario, Serious Jones is a sneaky good little performance here. I don't have faith in Big T. I'm not going to OD because I've OD'd a lot on the Big T topic. And it's kind of been this way for years. I think amongst battle rap fans, kind of the same way with Clips. It's a battler that almost all people feel safe kind of joking about because we know it's that far past their prime. I'm not going to do all that, but I'm just not going to trick myself. I think our best case scenario is Serious Jones is good in this battle, but I'm worried about it. I got Serious either way, but it's definitely the most bizarre booking for me that they just could have simply done anything else.
So,
yeah.
I got Big T.
Big T, huh? You're feeling
good? But let me tell you, I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why.
Because it's fun.
Listen, that's part of the reason. But also, in battle rap, when people start publicly like campaigning for themselves and things of that nature, something hilarious then happens to them. Where they take a loss that it's like, oh, why were you talking about that? You just lost this battle. Like I feel like that's where we're headed here. Because Serious been talking a lot about how underappreciated he feels.
Yeah.
So I feel like in a very like not just in an unappreciated way, in like a very like y'all owe me kind of way. So I think the most natural battle rap outcome is him to lose this battle for no reason at all.
I like predicted the unpredictability of our sport. I respect the hell out of that, Titus. Made me think twice. I'm not gonna lie.
So, I still think the idea that Big T would win a battle in the Big 2025 is a lot to ask for. But I respect the chaos of it and respecting the natural laws of battle rap that go along with if you chase the battle for however long, you lose the battle usually. And if you talk about how no one appreciates you, you should go on and lose the battle after that. Yeah. That's the law of the battle rap. That should make sense. So from that perspective, I get it. I'm gonna be honest here. We do go from someone who's actually been in really, really high form in the last year or so to another person that's probably in the same range as a Big T type guy in terms of like the best days maybe being a bit behind us and it being hard to see them winning a battle. We have Sharon versus Reed Dollars.
If I could speak, because we're talking about the general here, and I would say amongst us, I would be the Reed Dollars spokesperson. If I wouldn't say I talk heavily about Reed too much, but amongst us, I would be the most Reed positive. But there hasn't been a lot of positive things Reed's been doing in terms of in the ring and battle rap, and it's kind of been like this for a minute. I remember if we went back a couple years to like when he battled Ill Will. And even when he lost to A-Ward, I thought there was moments like I really liked that he had in the 2 rounds versus A-Ward. And then the last 2 or 3 years is mailed in. Like, and you just see that a lot. There's just certain legends are kind of in that mode. And Reed's been like that for a minute. Reed's been losing to everyone. He got bodied by Tay-Rock in Philly. I had him losing the cow battle. Some have him winning. We all lost for real. He got 30'd by Trufo. We lost to Unp. And I think he lost to Unp in Philly. I think that might have also been.
That was a Philly event.
These are all bad things that I'm saying. They're not good things. So it's hard to understand how his style right now, the form he's even in, and how does that style match up versus Sharon, who Sharon has won probably 7 of his last 8 battles by 3-0. He's 3-0'd like good people. Like he 30'd, like basically bodied Ilmac. I had him winning at least 2-1, but you could debate 3-0 versus like a good Ill Will. So this should be probably it's on the body bag radar. I don't know. We'll come up with a term for that. Where I don't want to just flat out predict the body unless I'm for sure. But my radar is going off, and there could be some death in our future. So
yeah,
I
think Reed might be visiting the big cipher in the sky very soon.
Valhalla.
Barhala is going to be walking in very soon. Titus, you are a fan of the general. You defend the general very passionately. Titus, how do you feel?
I mean, we talk about these Reed losses, but in this time he also beat Calico. All right.
You know what we do here? What we do sometimes is lie. And like we lie.
Cal. Hey, get off the counter.
That's why the cat on the counter, because you lying.
She got off. You know, like in this time, he got a Calico dub out here. You know, amongst all these losses. Now, you know, against Sharon. I just watched what Sharon did to Bill Collector, and that was a competitive battle, but Sharon kind of cleared him. Like, he kind of just cleared Bill Collector. A good Bill Collector, by the way. Like, a pretty good Bill. He kind of just cleared him.
Forgot about the Bill joint. That was his last battle.
Yeah, just cleared Bill in Philly.
Yeah. Sharon hasn't lost in a long time.
I don't like picking against Reed, but I don't really have much of a choice here. I already picked Big T. I can't pick Big T and Reed on the same.
I actually got Sharon for performance of the night.
I
think the best.
I got Sharon. And hey, look how far. If I would have told you 12 years ago that K-Shine was gonna book Sharon on a card that he was throwing, wouldn't you have been shocked by that? That'd have been crazy. Yeah, look how far we've come.
Time heals all wounds. You know what I'm
saying? We went from handprints on the face to signatures on the paper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, time heals all handprints.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. And then we have our main event. Which is funny we have the London stuff going on with SM15. Skepta and Joyner Lucas are going back and forth in one of the more mid.
Who's winning that right now?
I don't who fucking cares? Yeah, I never looked at any of it.
My personal answer: I don't have a pick, but not Joyner Lucas. You know what I'm saying? That's the pick.
There's also Drake saying that London has the best rappers.
Oh yeah, that guy.
No one's rapping like anyone.
Yo, speaking of that, if Joyner loses this battle, we can't send him on no international missions. He lost to the Canadian, and he lost to Canada and England, bro.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
No more international missions, big dog.
He gotta go to the rec league. He gotta get it. He gotta start battling 38 special and he gotta have domestic. He gotta have domestic things.
Joyner Lucas, I'm about to fight for our country, and we're like, please don't.
No one asked you for this. What is Jid?
Just don't.
Where is Jid?
Yeah, man. So that's But with all that being said, we have K-Shine versus Shadi Hora to add to the current UK versus US stuff that's going on. And I'll tell you what, I would have told you this whole time. First of all, I'm not the biggest fan of the matchup. I don't hate it like some people, but for K-Shine's return and all this, he could have done far better in terms of pop for there's 4 or 5 different options that could have been better, right?
He tried, obviously. We know he tried to get Briz. So we know that one.
And I know that I thought. And even now, I have K-Shine winning, but I thought he's just gonna just walk Shadi Hora. I was pretty confident in that return energy difference in true performance. Shadi has the energy and we'll get aggressive with them, but Shine can do things on the stage. I just don't think Shadi Hora can really do. But when Shine was going through that whole thing where he's I rapped my rounds for my mans, and he was I'm not gonna lie, I'm unimpressed. And that's the people that are supposed to lie to you. You know what I'm saying? So that's usually how it goes in battle rap. You're always got the most fire shit. Maybe it'll end up being a blessing in disguise if he was being honest with them. But to hear Shine down in his material saying he had to go back to the lab all over again, not a full alarm censored, but it's I heard it. He didn't sound too confident in his material either. We know the headspace he was in. So I think that, since there could be some expectation curve for Shadi, maybe because there's people like me that thought it'd be so lopsided. So I'm going K-Shine 2-1, if not 3-0 clear. But if it somehow wasn't an all-time Shine performance and Shadi made it close, I really wouldn't be overly surprised. I don't think that it's not set up to be just a steamroll like it was when this first topic came up.
When it was booked in Atlanta at King of Dynamite, brother, you can't put
on New Year's Eve.
I'll go as far to say they put that flyer out. I don't even think they booked that venue. I just think they figured that they would. Yeah. And then they never did.
Power Network was a NFT, basically. They were a meme coin.
Power Network was a scam.
Some real King Bao shit.
Absolutely. K-Shine and Shoddy, I'm a Shoddy guy, so I'm kind of into the battle. I don't. Are you good? There's a window there. You're not gonna get the bug. You're not gonna get it. You're behind the window. I'm sorry. Um, Shoddy, I'm a Shoddy guy. I'm not. This K-Shine battle is just it's tough. I hope that there's a crowd there. Like, I hope this battle does like get proper attention. I hope there's like a proper crowd there in the venue, and that the crowd is good. I think this battle can be compelling. I do kind of have Sean though in New York. Sean return. We saw what happened when Sean got in a cipher in New York.
Bro,
Yeah,
they
God
lost,
only
bro,
knows what's gonna
they were
happen on
gassing the
stage.
cipher. I can only imagine.
bro,
Boy,
they lost their minds in the cipher for five like the submarine.
it
Oh
just
my
happened though.
goodness.
It was fresh.
Look, I'm saying they lost their minds for that shit. You're
They
acting
did.
like
They did.
it
Yeah.
was Urban Plaza. I'm like, oh
I
my
watched
god.
that. I watched that cipher. I said, God bless the man that battles him first, and it was Shoddy. So good luck, Shoddy. I mean, look though, like thing for Shoddy is there's always a Gemini battle to have next, and then lose that one too. So there's that as well. But he got Sean, and I think I'm picking K-Shine. I don't see K-Shine losing his return battle. It's been too long. People missing him too much, and I trust Shine to still be in form as a battle rapper. Like his style is
One of the
easily
better
accessible. People
battlers
love
of
it.
the night. He could
Yeah.
be. Him or Sharon will be the best performance of the night. I'm not sure
Yeah, for
which
sure.
one yet, but one of the two will be.
For sure. So yeah, I think K-Shine has more to say, right? Like there's a lot more for K-Shine to say on the personal front. I think I put that together well, right? Talk about what's been going on. He can get into those pockets. He can talk about, his life and everything. I think it's going to have a lot more impact than anything Shotty can do in this battle.
My thing with Shoddy here is this isn't his first time battling in America, right? Is it?
No, he about daylight.
He
Yeah,
battled.
so it's not his first time battling in America, but I think with all the circumstances and everything surrounding it, that it's hard for me to imagine this being a battle where I'm not saying niggas are coming in there to hate on Shoddy or deliberately like fuck up the battle and like give him no chance. But it's the thing where I'm just not anticipating a situation where everyone is super receptive to the English guy that no one wanted to see
Right.
battle K-Shine in the first place, and that everyone actively reacting to him, especially now that we're back in that we're in New York and it's not Atlanta, which would have been weird as fuck in the first place for it to be in Atlanta. That would have been a awful setting. But now that we're in New York, I think it maybe bodes even worse for Shoddy specifically in terms of how they'll react to him. So I'm not, and I think that Shoddy has a lot to say. I think that Shoddy has been counted out, and why is it Shoddy? And I think that there's angles that Shoddy can use and try to approach with, but at the same time, this is a battle in an event that's marketed around the return of K-Shine. So can you really get off these bars about K-Shine's absence and angle him and make fun of him and the in-person audience be all that receptive to it? Maybe it lands on camera, maybe it lands for the viewing audience, but it's not something I think is going to go particularly well in person. So I do have K-Shine fairly clearly over Shoddy, because it's not as if I think Shoddy's going to be bad. I do think Shoddy should be or will be probably pretty good in this battle, but I think with all the other stuff surrounding it, it's hard for me to envision a scenario where Shoddy gets like a fair shake in order, like with his material and like to win the battle or whatever.
Yeah. I forgot that people were like, oh, why is and you know what? I thought the why the Shoddy thing was, well, no, I understood to an extent, but also I felt like people had fantasy ideas in their head, like, oh, why can't it be Briz? Briz isn't a battle rapper anymore. Stop asking for Briz. Y'all gotta stop doing this. People like, oh, well, it's good in this. And I'm like, Shoddy's a great name. I think Shoddy's a good name.
Shoddy's a great name. I think it's just like when you go from Briz to Daylight to Twerk being like maybe the three that people would want to see, and then you throw in Shoddy, who is a views monster, certified legend, the biggest guy where he's from. So it's far from a bad selection at all. But I think for Shine, in the absence, in the longing to want to see K Shine back, there were three particular names I think people were interested in. So when it comes out, hey, it's Shoddy Horror, It's like oh, okay, that's not what I expected.
I'm gonna keep it a stack. I would have rather him battled A-Ward. I'm one of those that doesn't, but I get it. He's going for like the biggest fish name, and since he's the biggest legend from the UK, I understand. But I think there was just better routes to a more competitive battle. But it is what it is. We got him winning either way, and hopefully, once this is out of the way, we'll see how it goes. I do not want K-Shine running a league, please God. But as a message that has been repeated in every segment of this video, if you're thinking about starting a league, don't.
I will say in the interviews, it seemed like K-Shine was just really adamant on controlling his return, and that he's open to working with and doing business with the other leagues.
Now
that's how it sounded.
That works.
Yeah, because here's the reality of it: is that if he tries to go to other major leagues, he's probably getting hit with the cease and desist immediately. If we're just keeping it, that's the reason. That's the reason that he's having to do it this way to begin with. You know what I'm saying? So I could see a world where he's going to try to maybe do this a couple times at the first one. I just wish that he would knock out whatever he has to for URL and then do whatever he'd like. If he wants to pop up on Chrome, if he wants to pop up on the trenches, you know what I'm saying? If he wants to pop up even on the Riot, anywhere, TBL. I want to see him in the active rotation because there's plenty of battles big. He can battle Twerk. The Briz battle, as Titus said, is Fantasyland. You guys got to get over yourselves. But A-Ward, Big K. I know Swamp is on the down and out right now, but there was a point in time.
Yeah, I always wanted to see K-Shine and Swamp.
There's just like, when you really get into it, there is a lot of different opportunities to make money for your talents coming up. And I don't want to see after this, it's another year again because we're trying to build around our own league. So I just hope it gets figured out. But at least we get to see him rap. That's step one. That's what we all wanted, no matter what side you agreed with. So now we're going to get K-Shine rapping, and we'll find out August 8th. We'll probably recap it. And hopefully it's a quick event. It's 4 battles. He's talking about adding
it should be a quick event. I would like to think that.
He talked about adding a 5th. I saw K-Shine send his interview. Like, people were asking, blah, 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 what I'm doing. I don't know. So we'll see what goes on there. But I think that's the thoughts on like everything that's coming up. Any closing thoughts on this or anything else in the culture?
I think the only last thing I wanted to say was that if you heard hypothetically, right? If you like heard a story about someone claiming they had audio about something nefarious that they never put out, even though they claimed to have the audio, and it never got leaked to the public, even though they said they had it, and then you decide to do a media platform with said person, and then said person did some bozo shit to you and you gave that person access to your Instagram account, to your socials.
I now know where
to edit them.
I thought you were there.
And then said person did some weird shit with your Instagram account. Hard to feel bad for you, player. You had all the times with there. You gave them both of the keys to the crib.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. A weird nigga doing weird shit after you jumped in the whip with him after he did said weird shit.
Yeah, it's dog.
I don't know what to tell you at that point. Like, you knew the nigga was weird.
Yeah, I don't.
Gotta love yourself.
I almost don't want to say these 3 letters out loud because at the end of the day, they're really nothing in the grand scheme of things. But when it does come to MBS or a guy Kia or whatever, it's a horseshit platform. They once made up that they talked to Beasley, made up screenshots. Just an odd thing to do. They're tied in with some of the heaviest bootlegging in the culture. Also, just not great. All types of disrespect. Stolen content. There's nothing original about them. They have a little backline for information. They do everything that's wrong with the culture where you're like, there's just weird fucking people in it. Keo and MBS is the representative of that. But Danny Myers, you made some poor decisions. Don't know why you were rocking. Not the best judge of character in certain situations, Danny. And I think giving this guy who is a clear just clout demon your socials is insanity. I can't really root for you too much on that one. That was a silly thing to do. But if you ever want to keep doing, media, Danny, everyone loves your channel and the bar for bars you're doing, the love you give to the game. We at LTBR like battles. We like them quite a bit. And we don't fucking want your Instagram password or anything like that. We just want to talk battle rap. So, Danny, you ever want to actually chop it up about some raps, we're always here, man. But let's make some better decisions going forward because that one was that you cheddar bobbed it. You shot yourself in the foot.
And I know people would be like, yo, yo, will y'all be doing NBS? NBS will tweet a list out tomorrow, and 17 battle rappers retweeted that are on it.
Because they're on it. And that's
that's how
also
it
the
goes.
simplicity of the battle rap landscape. There's people that still co-sign Battle Truth just because they talk good about them. So I never expect too much research from everyone here. But Danny, I just hope that doesn't happen to you again. Let's limit those.
Yeah.
But I think
make better choices, man. But I think we're good. I think we hit everything that we were meant to cover on this episode.
Do we have battles next week? And any battles to the people? I think next weekend might be quiet. I don't want to say that too early, but possibly.
I thought the Shine card was, is that 2 weeks from now? The Shine card's out this weekend?
The Shine card is August 8th, right?
August 8th. My bad. Yeah, that's August
cool.
8th. I'm thinking it's the end. I'm thinking it's the end of July.
Like, right. So it'll be the weekend after next because I think the first.
Yeah. So we should thankfully have like a quiet weekend.
Finally. Yeah, hopefully we have a quiet week, nothing crazy happens, and then we can come on this show and do some toxic stuff.
And ACP, we still love Danny. He just does silly things, but everyone loves.
Yeah, that's all.
That's a silly guy.
He's a well-meaning dude, man. He's a well-meaning dude. Come on, bro. But yeah, I think that wraps up, man. I'm glad I made it. Good show again. Look for us. Sunday is gonna be the day. I don't have a full time figured out. It's gonna vary a little bit. When football season comes, the time will be set because it will be before football starts for sure. That's how that's gonna go.
I didn't even think about that. That's easy. The podcast before I turn on Red Zone for the next 8 hours. This is important.
Yeah. Pull up to the group chat, man. Appreciate y'all for watching. ACP, shout out to everybody in the comments, man. Salute. Thank y'all. As always. Need an outro song.